Everyone, thanks for joining us in Arc Salt Lake. I'm Jamie McGriff. It's Friday, May 23rd, and tonight we are taking a look at Utah-based scam that has made a resurgence, as well as an important update on one of our Utah's missing cases.
If it seems like it doesn't make sense, it shouldn't make sense because it's not legitimate. It's an absolute scam, and we're asking people to block, delete, and report these scam messages.
As many start traveling for the holiday weekend, some are choosing Utah's express lanes, and these toll roads can come at a price. Scammers have taken a liking to their popularity, sending text messages like this one. Messages and calls started a few months ago and after some time seemed to die down. Today we got messages from concerned viewers saying that the scam was back and more aggressive than before, and we asked John Gleason, an officer of UDOT, why scammers have ramped up in intensity and volume. Take a listen.
This is just the latest version of this scam that's been happening over the last few months, but you know, the most recent ones are very realistic, and they fooled a lot of people, and it's heartbreaking for our folks to answer these calls and know that we have nothing to do with it, and there's nothing that we can do to help these folks get their money back. But you know, you just have to try to get the word out there and let people know that this is not us. We will never collect money or approach you in this fashion. We will never send a text message or approach you with an aggressive phone call saying that you're going to potentially lose your vehicle registration if you don't pay. This is just not what we do, and unfortunately, it's exactly what the scammers do, and they want you to fall for it. They want to have you believe that if you don't act immediately, then you're in danger. Your license and registration are in danger, and that's just not the case.
These scammers are claiming to be directly from UDOT to mislead Utahns, but it turns out the scam is not confined to Utah's borders. We asked John about the other states that have reported receiving messages or calls about unpaid Utah toll fines.
This is a nationwide scam, and there are some other departments of transportation that are being associated with it. But also, yeah, people in Florida have actually gotten the scam claiming that they're the Utah Department of Transportation. And you know, if you've traveled anywhere recently, it's one of those head scratchers. You think to yourself, could this be legitimate? And the answer is no. Do not give them any of your personal information. Block, delete, and just get rid of any of these scammers with the text messages or phone calls. You know, some of the phone calls that have come in have been very aggressive and threatening. And if they're not getting the response that they want from the person on the other end, if you're not giving them your personal information, they'll become more threatening. They'll say that this is a serious matter. And in fact, the same thing happened to me. I was told that it was a law enforcement issue, and they wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be associated with this in any way. I forget exactly what it was. They said that this is a law enforcement issue now. If I wasn't going to pay and give them the information, then I would be incriminated by this as well, and so there's a number of ways that they're approaching Utahns right now. But every way that seems a little unorthodox, if it seems like it doesn't make sense, it shouldn't make sense because it's not legitimate. It's an absolute scam, and we're asking people to block, delete, and report these scam messages.
This week alone, UDOT's main office has received more than 500 inquiries asking about the validity of the text and calls. For some, it's easy to recognize the ruse, a scam call, or text is a daily headache and it's nothing more. John reminds us that not everyone is savvy with their technology, and we need to spread the word before scammers prey on vulnerable people.
Unfortunately, our front desk folks have been taken a number of phone calls where people have given their PIN numbers, their bank account information, and unfortunately, one gentleman he was trying to get the credit card to load and wasn't successful. So put in an additional two personal credit card numbers, and you just hate to see that. And that's exactly what these scammers are hoping to see, and they're hoping to take advantage of us. They're out there preying on our family members and our parents and we just need to spread the word to everyone that this is not legitimate. This is a scam, and don't fall for it. Don't click on it. Report it. Delete it. Block it. Whatever you have to do. Do not click on this website. Do not answer these phone calls and hang up on them if they do get a hold of you.
The 100 deadliest days on Utah's roads start right now. That's why UHP troopers will be out in full force this weekend, watching for speeders, people not wearing seatbelts, and those who drink and drive. They will also be reminding people to put that phone away while driving, slow down, and get enough rest before you start that road trip. John gave us some final advice for this deadly season.
Keep your eyes on the road, eliminate those distractions, and recognize that everyone has the same idea. We all want to get to where we're going safely. So if you're out there stuck in traffic, there's others that are out there too, and let's do our part to make sure that we all get home safely.
Utah lost 92 people during the 2024 100 deadliest days, and that is not just a number. Those were friends, family members, and neighbors. We can all do our part to keep Utah safe. The 100 deadliest days ends on Labor Day.
The DA's office dropped the ball again.
A failure to honor an agreement for the victim. The Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office negotiated an agreement with an 18-year-old man charged with 4 felony counts of aggravated assault. But a 2 News investigation shows the DA's office failed to honor that deal. Chief Investigative Reporter Wendy Halloran with this exclusive investigation.
We went through 3 years to get him 6 months.
Tasha Mayfield is devastated after the guilty plea from a man who threatened her daughter with a knife was withdrawn after he completed only 6 months of a 3-year agreement. To make matters worse, Lachey and her parents were never notified. Colton Rose's probation started December 1st, 2023. 4 months later, a change in prosecutor. Deputy District Attorney Rhonda Woolston entered an appearance for the state. 2 months after that, APMP requested Judge Amber Metler terminate his probation early. 1 day later, Judge Metler gave the prosecution and defense 14 calendar days to submit any objections or input regarding APMP's recommendation. The court clerk certified a copy of the document was sent to Rose's defense attorney Greg Skordas and assigned prosecutor Rhonda Woolston. The court also notified the DA himself, Sim Gill. The DA's office never raised an objection, let alone a response by June 26, 2024, so Judge Metler approved APMP's request and closed the case. The Mayfields had no idea until March 31, 2025.
And to hear he only served 6 months out of this was heartbreaking. It makes me so angry. Angry that they did this to us. Angry that he did this to my daughter.
Tasha and Justin requested a meeting with the DA. They took Lachey. Brent Huff, their private attorney, went with them.
My name is Sam, and what can I do for you?
Tasha set her cell phone on the table, recording the conversation, and gave us a copy.
One of the things that I wanted to say was, first of all, I'm sorry that this happened. Second of all, that I'm going to make sure that all my division directors and all my team leads know that in similar cases, a plea in abeyance is actually an agreement. I'm going to find out who the assigned prosecutor is.
Rhonda Woolston is the prosecutor. She was notified twice. The Mayfields say the blame lies squarely at the feet of DA Gill.
You betrayed us. You betrayed my daughter.
DA Gill refused repeated requests for an on-camera interview. In an email statement, wrote in part, our prosecutors should have opposed that recommendation.
The agreement was terminated before I was even an adult.
Gill also wrote, we made ourselves available to the victim survivor's family. We empathized and we talked candidly with the family as well as their legal counsel. Together, we came up with solutions to this error that was made.
I don't know where there's an error. My client does everything he's required to do. The probation officer tells the judge, this man has done everything he's required to do, and he's done it so well that we would like his probation terminated early.
Rosa's attorney, Greg Skordas.
So I don't know where the error was, because notice was given out, appropriate notice was given out, and there was no response.
Gill blaming the court for failing to notify the victim, Lachey, through her attorney, Brent Huff, who entered an appearance of counsel early on in the case.
What we're saying is there's a technical violation. Right? That proper notice didn't go to her. She didn't have an opportunity under the Victim Rights Amendment to be able to voice that objection. We will try to see if we can reinstate that original 36 months. Okay, that's what we will try to do.
I have no trust in him.
District Attorney Sim Gill sent a statement saying that the Mayfield's attorney filing a motion may be the most critical, and he would supplement it and help strengthen the request. However, Brent Huff says he and Lachey do not have standing to file a motion. Only the prosecution and defense can file motions like this. Instead, he filed a statement on behalf of Lachey to the court called Victim Statement Regarding Deprivation of Her Rights, end quote, describing multiple violations of her constitutional rights as the victim in this case. AP&P issued the following statement. In general, when we make a recommendation to the court, we are referring to our supervision interests. We do not have authority to choose a case or a binding agreement between other parties. In this case specifically, we recognize room to improve the wording of our recommendation and will do so. have an update on one of our Utah's missing cases. One of the men charged in connection with the disappearance of Elisa Petrov has acquired an attorney. Court documents show Matthew Menard now has counsel representing him for the case. A warrant is out for his arrest in Miami in connection to the missing 15-year-old. She was last seen April 21st at a UTA station in Provo when her parents believed that she was at school in American Fork. Witnesses from her last known location say she was trying to travel to Las Vegas. Detectives say Menard, who is from Florida, and William Glines from Texas had explicit communications with Petrov over social media. Glines is in custody in Texas. As of now, Menard is still on the run. Each Wednesday on Arc Salt Lake, Brian Schnee highlights one of the more than 800 people listed as missing in Utah, in hopes of bringing answers and closures to families. You can find previous Utah's missing reports on our YouTube page. You can also join us for Utah's Missing Wednesdays at 7. Well, at first it was delayed for a year, but now Billy Joel is canceling his planned concert at the University of Utah. The U is saying that fans who purchase tickets will automatically be refunded. Joel says that he's been diagnosed with a medical problem, which is exacerbated by musical performances. The condition is causing problems with his hearing, vision, and balance. Doctors have asked the 76-year-old singer to avoid performing until he finishes physical therapy. A viewer sent us a beautiful photo last night, an impressive sunset shot from the pond at Knoll Park, located in Salem. We got this photo from our Chime In feature on our app and website. And if you have a great shot, you can go to KUTV.com/chime-in to submit your photos and videos. You might even see them on TV. All right, let's talk about the weather with our meteorologist Chase Thomason in that first alert forecast.
It's been a beautiful day here across the state, especially in northern Utah. Not too warm and not too windy, with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. But look at the heat across eastern and southern Utah with that southwest wind. Lots of 80s. St. George made it to 95 degrees. But there is a slight cool down coming your way for southern Utah. In the meantime, though, for tonight, you probably don't need a jacket this evening, but those overnight temperatures, you can open up those windows, some free AC. We're talking lows in the 40s and 50s across a good chunk of the state. We'll see those lows, though, in the upper 50s along the Wasatch Front. Tomorrow, still a few degrees above normal, but you'll notice a lot of cloud cover. Highs in the upper 70s for most of northern Utah, some 80s out east. In St. George, you'll go from the mid-90s to the low 90s, and we'll stay in the low 90s through the weekend. So you'll notice the cloud cover. There might be a stray shower, but right now it looks like the best chance for maybe a pop-up thunderstorm will be on Sunday during the afternoon hours. We're staying, though, in the upper 70s, so it's pretty mild and comfortable. Just keep your eyes to the sky. By Memorial Day, though, temperatures into the 80s, and we'll see more sunshine as drier air moves in. If you're going to be down in St. George, and a lot of folks are for the unofficial start of summer, low 90s through the weekend. It's going to be a little breezy, especially on Saturday and on Monday, with those wind speeds up to 20 miles an hour, but we'll likely see some higher gusts. But those winds do relax, though, at night. As we roll through the next 24 hours, though, here's the cloud cover that rolls in. We're dry, though, tomorrow morning. Then we start to see a couple stray showers, mainly in the mountains. I think the best chance will be across southwestern Wyoming and towards Nevada. But by Sunday, we'll have some sunshine, a little bit more instability to work with, and we'll see a better chance for maybe a thunderstorm bubbling up over the mountains. One or two could drift maybe into the Salt Lake Valley right around the lunchtime. And by the afternoon, they're very hit or miss across northern and central Utah. And again, they'll be going up in the mountains, and that's where we expect most of those thunderstorms. But by Memorial Day, though, there's the sunshine, and it looks really nice. If you're lucky to get a shower or storm over your area, there's a chance you might get about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 inch of rain, but it's not going to be widespread. So someone might stay dry, someone might get a little bit of rain. The story, though, for next week is going to be the heat, because this ridge of high pressure sets up right on top of Utah. It builds, it strengthens, and there's a chance by the end of next week and next weekend, we could see our first 90 in Salt Lake and our first triple-digit number down in St. George. So low 90s in southern Utah this weekend. You'll have some cloud cover tomorrow, a little breezy. Overnight lows, though, in the 60s. Mid-90s in St. George Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But take a look at the extended forecast. 100 on Friday, and the +2 shows 102 degrees in southern Utah. So next weekend is looking toasty. Salt Lake 57 tonight, 79 tomorrow, 78 on Sunday, and then here comes the 80s. And then keep in mind, normal 75, so this is above normal. Low to mid 80s for early in the week, partly cloudy skies. Then we're into the upper 80s by the end of the week, but your +2 shows highs near 90 next Saturday and a high of 92 degrees next Sunday.
Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, forget interviewing for a job. Watch these linemen compete in front of potential employers. Today, in front of a crowd of family, friends, and potential employers, graduates from Salt Lake Community College's line worker pre-apprentice program showcased their newest skills on a lineman rodeo. The competition includes an egg race mixed with a speed climb, a hurt man rescue, and a mystery scenario that involves real-world complexities, so they could face in those things that they could face in their future careers. This program is the only one of its kind in the entire state. It has an 80% rate for graduates. There are both part-time and full-time options to complete the program. And also happening today, volunteers with Project Rainbow Utah and the Utah LGBTQ+ Chamber of Commerce assembled new flags and prepared existing flags ahead of distributing over 2,000 flags across Utah to celebrate Pride Month. Flags will be available for yards starting next Saturday and Sunday before being picked up the second week of June. The project is looking for volunteers, noting that sign-ups have been down since the passing of House Bill 77. Sign-ups to participate in the 2025 Pride campaign close at midnight tomorrow. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. We hope you have a fantastic evening as well as a safe weekend this holiday weekend. Remember to drive safe, don't drink and drive, and if you're sleepy, get plenty of rest before you hit the roads, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.